Hey peeps, hope your days have been joyous so far, but hey, you're watching our video so of course it's a joyful day for you. In today's video we will be talking about every Brawlhalla legend from Budvar to Vivi. Its phase, joyous, and GOAT. Budvar is the first legend to join Valhalla and his hammer is decent at best. His sword is actually pretty good though, which is why I put him in C tier. Next up is Cassidy and she deserves to be put in D tier. Because her sigs are okay, they don't go up or down, they only go at an angle, which is good but bad for combos. If she had up and down signs she could be in the B tier, and her guns are kinda good too. Orion is the next to go up and his sigs are probably one of the best for a starter legend. I will put Orion in B tier because his sigs can go anywhere and his combos are good for PvP. Another good thing about Orion is probably his stats, they are all good, and what carries the most is his dexterity. The fourth person is Lord Vraxx, he will be the first person to be an A tier. I say this because of his stats. Dexterity is the stat that carries Lord Vraxx with his combos, and the dexterity makes his attack quicker. Nash is a very rare character to see people to main, but he is B tier, because his stats are well balanced and his sigs are okay. Queen Nai is a B tier but very high because her sigs are very strong and they do high damage, and her stats are good because of the damage and the defense, and she is well character for a starter. Character. Hattori is next up. She is low A tier because her speed carries and the rest of her stats are booty, but her sigs are really good, they do a lot of damage even if the damage stat is low. Sir Roland is the first S tier we have. His stats are balanced out except his defense, which is very high, and the lance of Sir Roland is in my opinion a best lance, so he is an S tier. Scarlet is low A tier because her hammer is absolutely butt and she has well stats, but overall she gets overpowered by many of the characters but still strong. Thatch is in mid A tier. His sigs are super good and his stats are good, but his defense is bad, but if you're good at the game you can dodge most attacks. Ada is C tier because she is very weak and her sigs are bad because you can spam easily with the sigs. Sentinel is high A tier because his sigs are really good but his stats are mid, and he is one of the first people that is a good catter legends. Lucian is our first F because everything about him sucks, his stats and his sigs. Terrace is mid A because his stats are good and his sigs are very good, but his dexterity is what is the worst, and that makes him worse because that makes him easily readable. Brynn is high A tier because her stats are well balanced out and has pretty good sigs. Her stats combined with the sigs are really good and can make combos. Azuri is mid and is D tier. Barraza is mid and is D tier. Ember's F tier, she freaking sucks. If you use her then you should not be playing and go do something else instead of using this trash character. Azov is B tier because in my opinion he has one of the best bows in the game and his signatures are actually really good. Koji is S tier because his stats are pretty decent along with his bow. Koji also has two weapons that allow him to fight and edge much easier than others like axes. Ulgrim is C tier because he has a mid lance along with a horrible axe. If used right, Ulgrim could be better, but he's never used right. Diana is A tier because her bow is really good and so are her guns. Her stats are really good because they are well balanced out. Jala is C tier because she is by far the most mediocre legend in the game. Kor was put in the B tier because of his easy to learn hammer and his combo friendly gauntlets. Also, with Kor's majestic skins and his mid stats that are pretty balanced out, Kor by far was the most beginner to decent friendly legend. Wu Shang has tons of unique crossovers such as Rano Wu Shang, Ong, and Po. If I left one out, tell me in the comments. Wu Shang is a S tier legend because of his majestic spear signs. Also, his gauntlets are really easy to combo with and even team combo with. Val is in a tier because her sigs are easy to use in combos and her stats are really well balanced, they go from down to up. Even more is that Val has insane crossovers like Stevani Michelangelo, Akuma, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ragnar is in C tier, the reason being is because his sigs are very great and have a lot of combo potential but falls to the same fate as Cassidy, the sigs don't go up and down. They go at an angle for the catters, but the axe makes up for that heavily by having A tier combo potential, but is a slow character in general so his combos are limited. All in all a solid C tier character. Cross is in B tier because his stats are uneven with dexterity being very low, so that means his combos will not be as strong as most legends, but his sigs are really easy for combos and his guns are really great for combos. Mirage is an A tier legend because of his combination of scythe and spear. This also gives him opportunities for great collaborations. Mirage already had one, Donatello. Spear and scythe are a perfect combination that you can use for both team combos and singular combos. A very great character to talk about is Nyx. Yes, she is at S tier because of her sigs doing absurd amounts of damage and having arguably the best combo potential in the whole game. Having a gun and scythe makes her a versatile character. Taijins make her shifty with combos, and the scythe gives an edge over other characters from the damage and speed alone, not to mention her defense. She can take 2 combos and still and only be at orange, which is crazy to me, and she has a great backstory, being a reaper and not finding people she had to finish off and then stumbling across Valhalla and competing in the tournament gives Nyx a cool complexity that sets her apart from the rest of Brawlhalla characters. Mordex is another S tier. His stats are great, and his speed is one of the fastest in the game, and speed combined with his damage makes a really great combo. Now we move on to the weapons. The weapons are really good, consisting of a scythe and gauntlets, meaning his basic heavies are really good for edging people. Now we move on to his sigs. His sigs are really good for finishing a combo, and they do a heavy amount of damage. Right now we have a very unique legend here, Yumiko with her bow and hammer. Yumiko hammer can go both up and side by side with her signatures. Her bow allows her to teleport with the exception of her down sig, which is similar to her hammer down signatures. With all of the following, Yumiko should be declared as B tier. A surprising yet confusing character to talk about is Artemis. Wait, I just did some background checks, and yes, Artemis is a girl. Anyways, Artemis is an A tier character because of her speed, defense, and her damage being paired up with a rocket lance and a scythe is truly formidable and weird. Her sigs definitely aren't the best looking, but are great if you land them because they are hard to hit, but if you can, the damage is monumental, and if you can do a combo, just know your opponents will probably get 3 stock by you. The backstory is cool too. Being chosen by the universe to be an equal to Orin is very good in my opinion, and for these reasons Artemis deserves A tier. Caspian is C tier because he just sucks, but the good thing about Caspian are his sigs and stats. The stats are pretty bad because his dexterity and defense are bad, meaning his combos are gonna be hard to hit, and if you get in a combo yourself you will take heavy amounts of damages, leaving you at low health, and it's gonna be easy for you to die. The only good thing is his sigs because they have more range than regular gauntlets and catter legends. This is why he deserves a C tier. One of the worst legends in the game, Sidra. Sidra has a cannon which, like the achievement, already makes her fodder, and if you main her you're probably gold or even lower. Sidra has a cannon which is her first problem, and her next problem is having a sword. Having a sword mixed in with a cannon is only a good mix for edging, but together it just makes a whole abomination. It's weird because Sidra has potential, but her sigs and weapons really ruin it for Sidra. I have seen some Sidra mains, but they never, and I mean never, use her sigs. Hot take here, but in my opinion, Zul is a horrid E tier legend. I will firmly stand on that because on paper an axe and cannon sound good. On paper, this is a game, not a little doodle. So when we discuss the legends, we think about their potential and their sigs. Zul has a weird mix of weapons, but he still had potential. I think that the only good thing that ever came out of Zul was Amethyst. Zul himself is 6 feet below mid, which is why we decided to put him in E tier. Kaya is B tiers, but people are gonna say that she deserves to be an A tier, but I think not, because her dexterity and strength are really low, and those are really important stats that you should need if you're a bad player, but overall if you're a good player, Kaya is a good legend to use. Isaiah had a cannon and blasters. Other than that, he just looks like some random guy. Other than him being an average Joe, what does he do well? We'll really do nothing. If you main him you probably suck, or you're just trying to find an excuse to use him because you bought Master Chief. Jiro being S tier is a hot take, I know. But his sigs are so slept on, and he has so much potential. If used right, he's perfect. His sword is perfect for edging, and his scythe gives him so many opportunities for normal combos and team combos. The trainer of Brawlhalla, Lin Fei. Lin Fei is way too mid for someone who trained Wu Shang. She's D tier because she has catters and a cannon, which sounds okay, but to be fair, she doesn't have that much good skin. Her stats are decent, but it's the fact that she's kinda cheeks. I can give my 6-year cat the controller and she can master Lin Fei in an hour. That's it. Lin Fei just sucks if we aren't lying. Zariel is B tier because he is a mid legend, but he is also pretty good and his stats are okay, but his sigs are good and you can use him if you're a doo-doo player, so overall he is okay and will never compare to any of the high legends. Rayman being the first crossover legend is a really cool and unique feature, yet Rayman is just a piece of mind that snuck his way to B tier. Rayman has some of the best crossovers in the game, including that he's a crossover. Rayman's sigs are actually pretty good, including that he as a whole is pretty mid. But overall I would have to put him in the B tier. A unit we all love to hate is Dusk. He is very deserving of the C tier because he doesn't stand out for much, but he has some potential. I'll give him that. He does have an interesting spear and orb combo, which is why he is even at C tier in the first place. A controversial legend at best. Half of the fandom adores, half hates. Fate. In my opinion, she is a great character. That is why she has the luxury of A tier. Her SIGs have the best combo potential in the whole entire game. Having an orb and Sif gives more versatility than Nyx, but also makes her kind of spammy. But a lot of pros use Fate for both her orb and Sif. Her backstory being chosen by the stars is kind of nice, but fair is definitely A to S tier. The Undertaker's mirror, Thor. Wait, the guy from Marvel, the guy from Norse mythology, holy guacamole, he still sucks either way. Thor has a hammer and an orb. It's actually just straight up depressing, bro. Thor's as a whole is alright, but if you wanna win matches, Thor is not the way to win. Our Dragon Ball legend, Petra. Petra has Kaioken, instant transmission, and a big old spirit bomb. Petra's actually pretty good, including that she has an orb and gauntlets. Too bad she's a C tier. You guys may wonder why, but Petra's attacks are so slow and are just too spammy. She does have nice collabs though, including Ryu, Ken, and Garnet. All very well-known characters from other games. Petra has nice skins, but other than that, what does she really have? I feel like that's wraps for Petra, the C-tier legend. Vector is viewed as the worst legend, but he's not the second worst legend behind Ember. His stats are okay, but his SIGs make you look like a trash can. Volkov is D tier because even though he has two great weapons and really good decks, his attacks are too easy to learn, so that makes it too easy to dodge. That's why I put Volkov at D tier. Onyx. Onyx is actually pretty good, and she has She is a fuel apparently because everyone in Brawlhalla are just catfish. Nyx. Onyx has gauntlets that are hard carrying. Her cannons ALR if I'm being honest, but she's just an E tier legend. Jaehoon is just straight up mid. He is not good or bad, he is just mid. A disgusting D tier legend we have here is Mako, and you may try asking, Mako, D, but yes, Mako is very well D tier because he just puts bad rep on the greatsword name. His catters aren't that good either if I'm gonna have to be honest with all of you guys. His greatsword and catter SIGs are just reversed with each other. It may sound good on paper, but once again, it's a game, not Little Jimmy's doodle. Magyar E tier has a lot of potential, but since his stats suck, he is really bad and his SIGs are easy to spam but easy to read. Valhalla's famous bounty hunter, Reno. Reno has 4 blasters and has an orb. He's in D because his SIGs are basic, following with the theme of just moving with a weapon. What I mean is that his orb and blaster side SIGs are just so basic. This was kinda small, but that's just because he kinda sucks. That's why he's D tier. Munin, the legend with the most potential. She's put in E tier because why? Munin has 2 amazing weapons, yet somehow the person who made her complete cheeks. Her SIGs are mid and are hard to hit, they're spammy, her attacks aren't good, her skins suck with only 2 good ones being Hugin and DJ Hugin, she has no crossovers. Her skins have some bad weapon skins too, etc. I didn't wanna put her in F because if you're good at how inside you can really change her. Otherwise, she's an E tier. Arcadia kinda sucks, bro, but she has the most spammy attacks with her spear. She has a great sword, so that's good, including that Mako and Magyar exist. If you use Arcadia, your teammate probably carries you to victory every match. This is why I believe that Arcadia is E tier. There's a reason why Ezio isn't on this list, he sucks. If you main him, you suck. The least liked legend in the game, Tezuka. If he's so disliked, then why is he an S tier? Relax peeps, I'll explain everything. You see, battle boots have active input, which is really good, and on Tezuka's battle boots, it has a reversal signature. Also, Tezuka attacks are really spammy and he's the first battle boots legend, and battle boots light attacks almost make mini combos for you, similar to Gollance. And the thing is, he has gauntlets too, which is what made the players of Brawlhalla hate Tezuka. Tezuka himself has really good stats. Tezuka having an active input, having a reversal signature, and having different variants of attacks depending where you are is crazy. When Tezuka first came out, me and my friend were so excited to see him, but we doubted him being liked after we saw how absolutely broken bro really is. Sonic and Brawlhalla? No, never mind, it's just Thea. An E tier legend. She's not that good because of her spam Mabel attacks and her weapon combination. I mean, like really, a lance and battle boots. Instant E. Red Raptor is F tier because he just sucks, and if you think he is a good character, then you're just brain dead and you should get better. Loki is F tier too. If you use him, then you're just a brain dead SIGs spammer and you suck at the game. 7 is F tier, he is a good legend. It's just the player who is booty SIGs spam the cannon, but he is the best cannon legend. Vivi is our newest legend in Brawlhalla, and I'm really happy that we got new battle boots with blasters. Vivi is an F tier only, and only because any one of her attacks are getting hit right through it. Brawlhalla really thought they were slick when they added Vivi, when it looks like she's standing still with the SIGs. Any normal person can bypass that, which is why she's an F. Nothing else to say. Hey guys, I hope you guys liked this video. We have been trying out more stuff to do with the voices since 2 people asked us about it. Hopefully in the next video that can change. Check out our TikTok, Twitch and Discord, and for the last thing, see you later peeps.